I've had the opportunity to do a bit of traveling this week, getting out of Jasper and away from the people I'm used to and the places I'm used to as we have been on lockdown. And even though I've probably interacted with more people than most these past few weeks because of our food bank, I have to say it was a little disorienting to be in a place completely new. It has brought home to me the message that I really do not know these people I'm currently interacting with, and I certainly don't know how careful they have been or with whom they've been around. What kind of job do they do? Have they been in close contact with the people who have the virus? Do they wash their hands? Does this store I've never been in or this restaurant, do the people working here practice good hygiene? I think the most disturbing were my trips to Costco in Montgomery and even more so to Publix here in Florida. A lot of people had on masks. Some wore gloves. I saw one woman go into the store with both and come out quickly with an empty cart and hustle to her car. It made me wonder if she was afraid to be out and among all these people. Almost no one was smiling. Lots of people looked the other way as we passed by. I got a sense that people were just dashing in to get what was on their lists and dashing out. There was no socializing, no greetings as you passed one another on the aisles. Arrows and tape strips kept you separated. We treated everyone as though the other had the plague or was a leper. It made me wonder if this is what it was like at the height of Nazi Germany, or for the people living in a communist state during the Cold War. Suspicious of neighbors whom just a few months ago you would have greeted warmly with a smile or a handshake or even a hug. Now we are wondering, why aren't they wearing their masks? Or, why are they wearing masks? We look down and away instead of up. Masks can be good. They may protect others from us if we happen to be ill, but we are also a society experiencing the dark side of masks. Psychology, spirituality, relationships all use the language of masks to refer to how people hide their true self from one another. And these same disciplines recognize that our relationships are stronger when we take our masks off and let go of our guard. This week I had the opportunity to speak to Father Joe Warren, an old friend of mine who I worked with and who taught me so much about being a good pastor. He used to talk about relationships, and he loved to use an example of the word intimacy. He would say, "Into me you see," and vice versa. Joe's point is that the strongest relationships are those where we can be ourselves, when we let others see the unique creature we were created to be by God. Our truest friends and families do just this as we do with them. In this morning's gospel, Jesus is talking to the Pharisees, and we are actually joining the conversation at the end of a series of exchanges that began when he healed a blind man while he was celebrating at a festival in the Temple of Jerusalem. The leaders were beginning to see Jesus as one who was challenging their authority, which he was. The leaders therefore had threatened to excommunicate the followers of Jesus, who thought he was the chosen one. In the midst of all this suspicion and fear, Jesus heals a man who had been blind from birth. The message he is sending is clear. You Pharisees and leaders are blind to what is really going on. You are wearing blinders that keep you from seeing who I am. Jesus therefore invites them to take the blinders off. Which brings us to the passage of today. Jesus tells them and us, "I am the good shepherd. I am the way." Jesus was not wearing a mask, hiding from those around him. In fact, throughout the Gospel of John, we see Jesus trying to plainly tell the leaders, his followers, and the people who he was. I'm the good shepherd, the one of Psalm 23. He tells them straight up, look, these guys, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and if you think about it, even the Romans, are hired hands. They actually work for me. I am the one you need to ultimately follow. I am the one who knows you by name. Listen for my call. These leaders may stray, they may abandon you because they are sheep, just like you. I am the good shepherd, and I am here to call you home. I therefore have two things for us to think about and pray about as we live into this week. First, are you intimate with Jesus? Do you allow yourself to realize that he sees deeply into you, the good, the bad, the ugly? No mask is going to keep him out or away. He is calling you to abundant life no matter where we are, locked in or not. Are you listening for his call? And second, are you living into your mask? Are you allowing your mask to push others away? Are you allowing fear to rule your day? Are you living a life of suspicion? Or are you living a life of grace with the joy of a man whose blindness has been lifted, sins forgiven, eyes seeing brightly, living a life of eternity that began that day when the first thing he saw was the face of his Lord? I suggest we all take down our masks, the cloth ones on our face and those that we use to guard our hearts. Walk about and smile with one another, greet one another from a safe distance, of course. Or if you need to wear a mask for whatever reason, somehow let your light shine to all who you pass. Greet one another as a fellow child of God. Sing a new song, whistle a happy tune, spread joy, not fear. Find ways to show love. Glenda Curry said this week, there is a light at the end of the tunnel and it is not a train. I agree. In the meantime, keep the faith, share the love. Our Good Shepherd is leading the way. Amen.